Hey Neil, so I got your message. You're having trouble with exercise 31. So let's, again, when I try to compile your program, I get an error message here that says, take item in player cannot be applied to java.lang.string. So you have this object Neil, which is a player object, and you have a method called takeItem in the player class. And what you're passing it as a parameter is this word item name, which is a string item. If we go into player, your takeItem method says, I need an item. Okay, so this is not a string object. This is an item object. So that's why you're getting that message, player cannot be applied to java.lang.string. You get a little more detail if you press on the question mark here. So it says the operator that you use here cannot be used for the type of value that you're using it for. So the value you're passing it is a string, but it's built to take an item as its input. Okay. And this is an interesting problem because the command, when we get a command from the person playing the game, from the user, what we get is a string, right? Command gives us strings, the strings that were typed in. And we want to relate that string to a particular item. We want to say, okay, what item are we trying to take from the room? So there's actually a similar kind of problem when you look at Go Room here. So in Go Room, what we want to do is we get a direction, right? It says go north, go south, or whatever. And what we want to do is convert that direction into the next room. Okay, so what we do is we have the direction, which is a string. Okay, that's a string, the direction. And then we pass that string into the getExit method in the current room. Okay, so in this case, we're sending a message where we're running a method on the room. Okay, so that's something that's different, because down here we want to add, we want to use this takeItem method in player. Okay, but we can look at what's going on in room in this getExit method to give us an idea of what we need to do inside of player. All right, so let's take a look at the getExit method in the room class. So in here, we have getExit. It passes it. We pass in a string, but notice we return a room. So this is the method that's going to change a string into a room object. And what we need to do in player is somehow convert a string into an item object, right? But let's see, how do we convert inside room? How do we convert the direction into a room object? Well, this looks pretty simple here, but what's it doing? So we have this exits.get direction. So we have an exits object, and we're calling get on it with the direction, with the string direction, and that returns a room. So let's see, how does that work? So exits, let's look up here to see where exits is declared. So notice, again, exits is not declared anywhere inside this method, so that means we need to go up top and look for an instance variable named exits. Okay, and here it is right here. Okay, and what we did was to create a hash map. All right, and you know, you can look in the Java docs to get more information on that, but basically it's a collection that you can use like a dictionary. So you can say, okay, I'm going to have strings. I'm going to have pairs of strings and room objects. Okay, so for every string I'm going to have a room object. And what happens is actually in game, when we're setting up the rooms and everything, we use this setExit method to pair this direction with this room. Okay, so what we do is we put in the hash map, we put a direction with a room. Okay, so every time we say setExit, like setExit west, you know, lab or whatever the rooms are, we put that pair of objects, that string and that room, into this hash map called exits. Okay, so then when we need to get a particular room, we go down to the hash map and we say exits get north, and that gives us the room that's north of you know, whatever the whatever is got put in here. Hold on a second. Let's just make sure I'm telling you the truth here. I'm going to put a breakpoint here. So this is what I do when I'm not sure about things. And for now, what I'll do is I'm just going to comment this out. And that's good. I'm glad to see that there's just one compile issue. So that means you're being mindful about, you know, just doing one piece at a time and trying to get that to work. So let's go to new game. I don't know what this input name is, but I'm just going to put something random. Okay, so now when I go in here, yeah, so what we're doing is we were in create rooms, and for the lobby room, for that room, we're pairing north with the hall. So in the set exit here, we're passing in the parameter north, and you can see here's our local variables. So we're passing in the direction north, and this neighbor, this is the hall. Okay, so we have both the direction string, which is north, and the hall, the room that's referenced by hall in our game up here. Okay. So that way, so that's what we're doing to set up our. Can I kill that breakpoint here? Yeah. So that's what we're doing to set up our hash map for the rooms. Okay. So you're going to want to do something similar to that for player. Okay. So instead of storing these items as an array list, what I would do is make a hash map. Oops, did I spell it right? Hash map of strings and items. And make that be your possessions. Okay. And then you're going to need hash map here. And this is going to have to be a new hash map spell it the same. What did I do? And then the way that we look through a hash map is a little bit different. You can look at what's going on in room here. I think we have to, yeah. So here's an example of going through. You basically you just pull all the keys out of the hash mapper. So the keys would be all those strings. So for a particular room, the keys would be like north, west, east. For a particular player, the keys are going to be the names of the items. Okay, but what'll happen is you'll just say, you know, you'll use this idea of let me just copy this over. Use this idea to get the weight of your guys. So you can say something like total weight plus equals, and if it's yeah, we can say this will be an item, or item name, or no, what, yeah, let's say item name, and then what we'll need to do is go into that possessions list and actually maybe the nicest way to do it would be say item. So now let's get the item that we that we're looking at here for each guy, and that's going to be possessions dot get item name. So that's one way to do it. There might be actually, you can look in the docs too. Oh, we need to import set. And it's possessions, right? Oh yeah, and you're also going to need to fix this up because we're dealing with a hash map instead of an array list. So the way you want to add these guys on is by using the item name. Just going to comment this out. Yeah. So, like I said, you can look in the Java docs on to look up the stuff on hash map. Passed it. There it is. There might be a way of getting a list of all the contains key, contains value. Entry set. Oh yeah, you can just get all the values too. So that's another thing you could do. So we could in here do, not there. what was it called? Value set? Values. And that's a collection object. Returns a collection view. So anyway, that's something you might want to try, and that'll just directly give you the collection of items instead of having to go in and pull out the items. Okay. So I'll let you play around with that, and then go back and look at how all the hash map stuff is implemented in Room to see how you associate the string with the. So in the rooms we're associating a string with a room, and what you're going to want to do is in player associate a string with an item. Okay, so play around with that a little bit, see if you can get that working, and if you still have questions, shoot me another email.